Before I begin, I just want to say that there was supposed to be a Hooverville 4 report at this point, except of course there can't be. Oh, I've recorded one, I've edited it, it's all ready to upload. It's 44 minutes long. Now if I was to upload that, it would use my entire bandwidth for the whole month, meaning I couldn't talk about any episodes of Doctor Who. So, if you don't mind hanging on, I'm sure you'll be able to listen to that, well, once these 5 episodes are out the way. I hope you understand. Of course you do. However, if you are interested in hearing some of the interviews that I did or that were carried out, I can point you in the direction of various other places. I'm thinking the podcast panel's going to be on Tim Drury's feed at some point, mainly because I've just sent it to him. The interview with Richard Franklin is on the brand new Flashing Blade. Yes, it's back. Get your RSS feeds all set up again. Siobhan is back, all guns blaring, firing, whatever. And the Peter Purvis interview? Well, that's on the WhoCast feed. So I'm sure you can find all of these things and listen to them at your own leisure. But now, this.
Scanning for audio.
Dinosaur train! Dinosaur train! We're gonna ride! The dinosaur train!
Welcome to It In Dog podcast number 263. Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. Not as the song from the opening credits that you may have just heard implies dinosaurs on a train. Before I discuss that, however, I just need to clear up a few things that I've had in the email inbox since last week. I didn't realise how many people out there were into baking. Far, far too many of you have emailed me to put me right on the whole you can't make a souffle with powdered egg and powdered milk. Well done for knowing that. I didn't know that, and I bow to your superior knowledge. And to be honest, I was tempted to actually try it, but that was in danger of turning this podcast into the Great British Bake Off, so I decided to move along from that one. The other point, which I've also had emails about and actually is much more important, is the whole Amy giving birth to River but saying she didn't have a daughter or a child thing, because, of course, she didn't get to bring her daughter up. She wants a child with Rory and she wants to go through the whole act. Well, again, I bow to the points people have made. As a father myself, I understand that. I get it. I really do. So, yeah. Now, in the future, that storyline might turn around and they might be able to have children. Hell, they might even be able to bring up River in the future in a different timeline thanks to some interfering aliens sending them back to the 60s, but that's probably not important and is just fan conjecture. I'm not even considering that that's what's going to happen. So yes, thank you very much for all of the emails, and there were a surprisingly large amount of them. But enough talking about the past. I'm sure there was something else I needed to discuss as well. I really am sure. Oh well, if it comes back to me, I'll bring it up. On with Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
This ship contains the most precious cargo.
The ship's coming through the atmosphere.
The creatures on board this ship are not objects to be sold or traded.
Who sent you?
That's my dad.
What's going on?
The ship's been boarded before.
You think I won't punish those who get in my way?
I'm launching the missiles.
Sorry, what was your name again?
Whatever's down there is coming this way.
Queen Nefertiti of Egypt.
What is it?
Dinosaurs on a spaceship.
I get the feeling that after all of the incredible fan love for last week's story, this story won't be as appreciated. Well, whoever doesn't like it is wrong. There you are. That's my opinion, because I loved it. It was jolly, it was jovial, it had humour. Yes, I've got issues with it, but I've got issues with every Doctor Who story. It was just really nice. This from the man who's on record as saying that he didn't really enjoy The Girl Who Waited. But this story's right up my street. And do you know where it had me? It had me at Silurians. It really did. You see, I'd fallen for the whole snakes on a plane reworking into dinosaurs on a spaceship. I'd bought into that. I hadn't thought, why would there be dinosaurs on a spaceship? And you had to call it Dinosaurs on a Spaceship because apparently there's already a story called The Ark in Space. The idea is superb. Yes, I don't know how the Silurians got a spaceship into orbit. I didn't think they were capable of space travel. It's never been hinted at before, but I'm sure we can let that one go. Let's face it, the majority of the people on Earth haven't been into space either. And you know what? You wait years for Harry Potter people to be in Doctor Who, and 2 come along at once. Typical. And the reason for this is twofold. 1. Mark Williams is a brilliant comic actor. He just is. Suits you, sir. Oh, yes, indeed. All that business, all the fast show catchphrases, just great. But he can also pull off drama, as seen in the Potter films. It all just works. Now, the reason we need Brian is because Rory's evolved. He used to be the comic relief, which he kind of is to a certain extent, but Rory's the hinge point of the whole show, because he's the person who asks the questions that the audience are asking, because Amy's not anymore, she's just along from the ride. And when everybody got split up, she plays Doctor version number 2. She's in charge of the beta group, if you see what I mean. It's nice to hear that the Doctor is now 1,200 years old, a point that I think's been skated over of late. So you needed some more comic relief. Brian's perfect for this. Although is there truly that much difference between somebody saying, you always need to know where your towel is, and somebody going, you always need to know where your trowel is? Perhaps Chibnall really needs to read less Adams. My wife also pointed out that during one scene, the 11th Doctor seemed to be channeling another Doctor. She gave it some thought, and then announced on the beach that he was channeling the 6th Doctor. I did wonder what she meant, then I watched it back, and you genuinely could see Colin doing all of the lines that are on that beach. It was rather marvellous to behold. Oh, and if you do have a trowel with you at all times, can't the police do you for going equipped? Going equipped to fix some walls, I suppose. But in the 70s, the police used to get you for going equipped if you had a large afro comb, so perhaps they could. One of the big questions, and I have a couple, is does Brian now count as an official companion, because he's been to all of those other places in the universe? Similarly, one of the places he goes to is Siluria, a planet that I believe the Doctor will have landed the Ark on and let all of the dinosaurs off. Think about it. The Doctor can pilot it anywhere in space and time. He could wrap the TARDIS around it for all I know, in order to drop it off somewhere safely. Could he have drifted back through time, deposited it somewhere, and had those nice dinosaurs evolve into, say, the Draconians? Or am I just doing too much wishful thinking? It is a shame that the Silurians hadn't survived their cryo-sleep. They are the universal victims in all of this. However, it's not a perfect story, marred mainly by the appearance of 2 characters, and you all know whom I'm going to say. Mitchell and Webb's camp droids. They kind of made C-3PO look macho. They're the sort of characters that belong in 2000 AD, the sort of characters that belong in, well, Judge Dredd or Robo-Hunter. So yes, they could be at home in Doctor Who. They weren't my favourite, and they irritated me slightly less than I thought they would. As soon as I realised that it was Mitchell and Webb, I kind of just let it go a little bit more than I should have, but that's just out of respect for the comedians. I always thought that Robert Mitchell would make a good Doctor, but perhaps I'm just, again, reading too much into it. So yes, Siluria, marvellous. Let's all visit the dinosaur world. I wonder what they'll evolve into. Wave-powered spaceships, very nice touch. Internal transmats, lovely. The intergalactic conman and pirate, just one of the most menacing characters to have been in Doctor Who in a long time. So yes, one of my favourites in a long, long time. Probably not what everyone else is thinking, but then again, I just don't know. Next week, it's Cowboys and Time Lords, in what I've been told is a truly magnificent tale. So until next time, be seeing you.
You have been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who and its associated shows are all copyright and property of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Whostrology the book is available directly from Telos Publishing and from Amazon. For personal Whostrology readings, visit whostrology.com.
Dinosaur train. Dinosaur Once upon a time there was a mom. Her name was Mrs. Pteranodon. Sitting on her nest she heard a scratching and said,
"Oh wow, my eggs are watching.
One by one, her kids pop free. Baby pteranodons, 1, 2, 3.
I'll name you Tiny, Shiny, and Dom.
But Tiny said,
wait, there's one more, Mom.
The last little baby was a different size, with teeth and a tail and big green eyes. You didn't look anything like the rest.
What am I doing in Pteranodon nest?
But dear old Mrs. Pteranodon said,
this is your family and I'm your mom. We may be different, but we're all creatures. All dinosaurs have different features. Come on, buddy, we'll take a holiday. I'll get a ticket at the station and pay. We'll travel the world in sunshine and rain and meet all different species on the
Dinosaur train!
Dinosaur train.
Dinosaur train!
Dinosaur